You're listening to the Soul Navigators Podcast, live with your hosts, MonaLisa Coburn and Kati Cusick. Every episode, we dive into the recipes from the Joy of One Consciousness and explore how to apply them in real life. We're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook, so send in your questions and comments. Let's begin today's journey.
Hello, I am MonaLisa. And as you can see, Kati's not here for this moment, but we're going to go ahead and get started. I just want you to know that the Soul Navigators podcast is where you can come and ask questions, anything spiritual to grow your soul, any questions you wanted to know, and not just from me, but I channel at this point, over 100,000 angels. And you can ask them any questions that you have burning in your heart as well. So that is pretty much the second half of the show. It is, we're going to try to keep it about 60 minutes. The first half of the show, we're going to have guests on. And so Kati and I will be interviewing guests. Sometimes Kati won't be able to make it, and I'll be going solo, and vice versa. And so I want to share with you to start off with some interesting stories that people have repeatedly asked me for more information about. And one of the things is that at the ripe old age of 13, I had what I call almost a near-death experience. And everyone is very like, ooh, that sounds so good. Tell me more. And so I was very, very ill, and I was 13, and I had crawled down the hall. It was an L shape down the hall, and the little off to the rest of the L toward my parents' bedroom door. And I was knocking as I crawled, and I was knocking. And as I knocked on that door, I wanted to scream. I was in so much pain. I popped out of my body. And we had, it was at maybe 8-foot ceilings in this particular house. And it felt like the roof extended, and I was looking down at my body, and my mom opened the door because somehow I must have put out a scream, and she kind of put out a scream and she shut the door. And I thought, wow, that was kind of weird. Um, and then my brother heard her, and he opened up his bedroom door, walked out of his bedroom a few feet. And I remember he had long hair. I was looking at the top of his head, just like my mom. I was seeing them from above my body. And he said, she's faking it. And he walked back in his bedroom. Um, and I thought, wow, I am not faking it. I looked down at my crumpled body in the hallway floor, and I felt a white light all around me. And it was an inner knowing, what I call a download now, that I'm going to be okay, and that it wasn't my time, and that I'm okay. I'm okay. And but I always describe how I felt the white light all around me. And I knew if I turned in the direction of that white light, I felt a pull, like almost a tug, like I wanted to go that way. Um, but at that point, my father opened up the bedroom door and said, "You're not kidding me." And he slammed the door. And then I thought, okay, this is getting a little comical, a little weird. Of course, I'm a 13-year-old kid. I had no idea what's going on, except for um, I felt a tug toward this white light, and I felt love in my heart, like everything's going to be okay. And once again, I was told, "You're okay. Everything's going to be okay." And about that moment, my father opened up the bedroom door and he scooped me up. I was kind of a chunky little girl, but he scooped me up like I was a sack of potatoes, and he started running down the hall, take me toward the car, um, uh, toward our vehicle. And I remember like a lightning bolt, my light body zipping into my physical body, and it was just a fun experience. I was never scared. I just felt like, yeah, I was me. I felt me. And I think that's one of the most important things I want to get across is that your light body is going to feel like you. Um, of course, I'm a medium as well. I talk to a lot of people on the other side, and I even talk to pets. I love talking to pets. Um, And so, what they reassured me is, there really is not any old people across the veil unless you want to stay old. Most people choose somewhere around 35. Um, so, one gentleman explained it to me that when he passed away, um, he was an elder gentleman, and that he was sitting there with his guides, and a guide just took his hand, and all of a sudden he was like 35, because he did not want to stay in his old, crumple up, sick body. Um, you don't feel sick, or if there's anything wrong with you, you don't feel like there's anything wrong with you on the other side. But he wanted a youthful body, and as most of us will probably choose to do when we decide to go over to the other side. Um, and so I think those are two really stories that people just want to hear more about. Um, but at this moment, I want to um, show you all. So this is not just going to be just to listen to, but to grow your soul. So we are all a soul. So what's a soul? A soul is who we are, and this physicality that we live in. It's just a teeny point of our soul. The way I like to explain it is if you had a crystal, think of a crystal point that was clear at the top and had a white point down below. That white tip is you and your physicality, and the rest of you is the part across the veil. So you are still, see, you're still part of your soul. You're not separated from it. You're just that little tip. That little tip. If you're just listening to this podcast, just imagine that little uh, crystalline tip of a white point, and that's you. And you are never separated from your soul. And as you live, we call your soul your spirit. And so your spirit, we often talk about your higher self. So your higher self can see across time and distance, right? So it knows where you want to go. And so how do you listen? Um, so how do you listen? How do you listen to your beautiful soul that you are? You listen to the beautiful soul that you are um, uh, by following things that you enjoy, by following things that make you happy. A lot of people in spiritual work talk about how you can connect to your higher self through meditation. So what I was taught was that a lot of people don't like meditation. When I was been at psychic fairs and all that beautiful things that we do to increase our abilities, like mediumship, people come up to me and say, "Don't tell me how to meditate. I don't want to know. That's not my calling." And so my team came in meaning my spirit guides, came in and they said, "We want to give you um, tools for others to learn how to navigate, to talk to their higher self, to talk to one consciousness, to talk to source energy." And that is through doing whatever it is that you feel connected, that gives you a sense of joy. Um, and so, for instance, one of the things I love to do is move. I'm all about movement. And I am about movement. And as I am about movement, um, my story with movement is this. I decided that I knew I could channel, um, meaning that I could always ask the deepest questions and through my writing get answers. Um, I could walk around my lakes and go for long walks and have talk with spirit. So I wanted to verbally channel them. So I set aside one long weekend and I said, I'm going to do that. And so I tried to channel for a couple days through meditation and I got nothing. And so I stepped on an elliptical machine, which is kind of like a walking machine. And as I was on that elliptical machine, I began to channel my sister who had passed away some years ago. And my team said, well, the reason for that is that we want you to teach others how you really connect to source energy, to all that there is when you do that which you love to do. And I love movement. Being in movement. I love to swim. I love to jog. I've always known I could ask any questions and go for a long jog and get all my answers. That's how I connect to all that there is. And so, for instance, if you are an auto mechanic and time flies by when you're working on a car, fixing it up, that's how you connect to source. That's how you connect to spirit. And you can always, let's say you have a question about your personal life, ask yourself before you do that thing, whatever it is that you love to do, um, ask a question that you might have for source. Ask a question that you might have for your higher self and direct it to whoever you want to. So let's say you want to learn how to talk to your soul, your spirit, your higher self. Say, higher self, I have this question for you. How come I haven't found the perfect mate? How come I haven't found the perfect spouse yet? Then engage in whatever that is that you enjoy doing, whether it's going for a walk, whether it is um, working on a car, whether it is knitting, whatever it is for you, no matter how outlandish it feels, that thing that gives you peace, that gives you joy. And that is how you can connect to unconsciousness. And that is why on the elliptical machine or walking or jogging, it's really easy for me to verbally channel and how I connect to my angel. So with that, I want to say hello, Katie. Katie has stepped into the room.
Hi, sorry about that. We're like slid.
Well, I figured all is perfect in imperfect timing, and this is exactly how Source wanted it to be here. So, so I was just telling them how they can connect to one consciousness through doing something they really love to do. So, Katie, can you maybe share with one thing that you love to do and how you feel like when you do that one thing, whatever it is, how you connect?
Oh, there's so many different ways because I have over the years found joy. Like I just started taking a list of all the different things I find joy in. So, yes, I connect very much through when I'm in a session with people just talking and just healing and just getting other people connected and how where they come from and finding the commonalities that they have. I realize that I am a community builder And I just find so much joy in, and there's other things like, my grandson's smile, or I love my 80s rock music. So dancing around to that brings me joy. Um, a desert girl for sure. So I love being out in the desert. But if I was just sitting here, I go through all the things that I'm grateful for, which definitely connects me instantly. But then the newest one is the joy of bringing people together and how that has happened in the projects that I have worked on in my hometown community. And that was all from um, my higher being. That all those things that came in just, came through me, and it's built a better me. It's built a better hometown. And it just sets me right there into my heart space every time I think about
Oh, that's I love that. And so I too, whenever I do a mediumship, whenever I do an intuitive service, like I call in people's guides and or their higher self, which I love to do. Every time I find a new, I want to say, source avenue, it's like we're flowers blossoming, right?
it.
And we're blossoming in whole gardens. Um, I and I want to talk about that. Before my mom passed away, I could have cared less about gardens, but she passed away, and I know every time I'm in that garden, my mom is right there with me. And so I may not be channeling her, but she's with me and I can feel her and I feel this connection, and it's just really beautiful. So I think we all have our ways that we connect to our own source and our own identity. And it be a boring, I think it would be a very boring planet if everyone wanted to verbally, let's say, um, verbally channel. It would just be very boring. And I would be out a job. So I'm very thankful that other people like to channel doing jewelry, or other people like to channel hair cutting, whatever it is that they love to do. And when they do those things, they feel really, really, really connected. So
And I think some people ask, how do you know? Okay, so how do you know when you've made that connection? What does it feel like? I think sometimes people try to feel it too hard, and then they're just completely missing it. So for me, I feel light. I call it 7 Up bubbles. And it just feels like all these little 7 Up bubbles are around me. And I just know that I am connected and safe, and just fine
so
here.
if for me, how do you know you're connected? If it brings a smile on your face, trust me, you're connected. Zan has come in and said anything positive, you are connected to your higher self. So and it doesn't have to be anything over the moon. It doesn't have to be the kind of joy you want to go leaping down the street. Um, it can be a softer joy. It can be like, you can't think of anything else you want to do but curl up with that book. And so it can be something very soft, but as long as it's positive, that's a connection to your higher self. That's a connection to source energy. That may be connected to a loved one on the other side. And by the way, another way that we connect to the other side is when, let's say, you enjoy a garden and a part of you really enjoys uh, playing golf. So you love gardening and playing golf. When you are gardening, you're going to pull in a different spirit guide for you than you are when you're playing golf. When you're playing golf, you might get someone else who was a master golf player. So how does that work? Spirit has explained to me we all have master guides, and if your master guide really isn't into golf, they're going to call in someone else They're going to say, hey, they're out there. They want to learn how to play golf. They're taking it seriously. And you're going to have someone whispering in your ear. As long as when you're playing that golf, you allow it. So you have to allow it through the heart space. You have to say, hey, I'm playing golf and I'm going to do it from a place of joy. If you're out there playing golf because you feel guilty and it's nothing you want to do and you're sitting there with a sour look on your face, that's not spirit. If it's if it's of lower frequencies than it is of the mind, it is of the ego. It is it's using the mind. So if you're doing would have, could have, and should haves, often those are of the mind. Those are things we've been taught to do and not of spirit. Spirit is more of okay, let's say we all know we have chores we do in this 3D reality. Spirit knows we have chores. Let's just say sweeping. That's what popped in my head. So while you sweep, you say, I'm going to do it from a place of joy, and you start singing along. Next thing you notice, you're like, oh, my sister always used to sing that, or my dad, or my uncle, or my grandpa. See, you're connected. It may be mundane, it may be something you thought you needed to do, but you're still connected because you're still sitting in that higher frequency of joy, and going at it that way. So I think that's important too, to know that we do have to do things in this 3D world, but we can look at them from our heart space. And so I always tell people, when you work from the heart space, um, when I do anything, I just take a deep breath, like right here, right now. You can all take a deep breath and drop down into the heart space and think of one happy thought. Anything that means a smile to your face, that brings that smile to your face. It could be a hug from a child. It could be a look in your pet's eyes. Um, it's all different for each one of us. But anything that can bring a smile to your face and bring you into that moment, that is when you are connected right here, right now. And that connection is everything. And it's how uh, us, I want to say those who practice medium, healing services, it's how we connect by dropping into that heart space and thinking of loving thoughts, whatever they may be. And it's really simple. You can do it too. And I encourage you all to give it a try.
MonaLisa, we do have some chats coming in. Deborah Hill, thank you for being there. Hello. She says, hello, ladies.
Hello.
Heather says, movement and water are my best meditations for me too. Richard Marshall asked, can you mention how someone can get in contact with their guide?
Of course we can. We'd love to talk about this.
I get that.
So once again, how you can get in contact with your guides is through doing something you love to do. So there's I want to say there's almost different levels. Know that when you're doing something you love to do, you're in communication with your guides, whether you know it or not, whether you realize it or not. And I'm not kidding you. If you love to go fishing, you're going to have a fishing guide next to you, and he's whispering in your ears what to do. You're always channeling as long as it's positive. Okay. So the other thing is we just mentioned about dropping into the heart space. And I want to give a something that I teach. There's multiple ways, and maybe Katie will pop up with the way. But one way I teach how to get in contact with your guides is I set a timer when I was doing it before I could really speak to them. You want to set a timer for 5 minutes. People always say, why 5 minutes? Because Spirit answers right away. And then if you're beginning meditation, you might fall asleep after 5 minutes. So you can repeat that, this process 2 more times. And after the third time, I say, let it go, let it go, let it go. Spirit is probably tired of whispering in your ears or trying to show you something you can't
Never.
see. No, they really don't. They enjoy trying to find fun ways to speak to you, to get through to you. So I had my, I'm going to get sidetracked a little bit. So I had my beautiful puppy who was 17 and a half years running around the house this morning as a ghost. And she comes in, and I just love it when she does. It's a very special gift. And so I thought she was my new puppy. So I had to double check to make sure my new puppy was in a total different room sleeping. And then a few minutes later, you know, the new puppy comes in and lays down, and she does this a lot when she sees spirit. I don't know why, but I haven't took the time out to talk to the puppy's higher self. But when the puppy sees one of my previous animals that were in the earth plane as a ghost, it scares my puppy, and she does this little growl. She looks right at the little ghost, whether it's my dog or my cat. She does this little growl, like she's growling at nothing. But I know who she's growling at because I just saw Hope as a ghost. And I'm like, no, 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 don't growl at my puppy, my other puppy. Um, so I'm sorry, I'm sidetracking how you can talk to your guide. So you're going to set a timer for 5 minutes. And just like I went over a moment ago, I'll go over it again. So you set the intention, I want to speak to my master guide. Know which guide. You all have master guides. If that's your guide you want to speak with, and that's the number one I tell people to get in contact with, is your master guide first. Okay. But let's say you're learning Reiki. You might say, I want to see my Reiki guide. And that's totally fine. Or maybe you have someone on the other side that serves as your guide. You can name that person. If it's your sister, like it is for me, whoever it may be for you, that special person that is over there for you. Maybe it's your grandma, whoever it is, name that person through your intent to connect. So for the sake of argument, we're going to say, I want to connect to my sister. So that's my intention. I set the timer for 5 minutes, and I will say, I have two sisters on the other side. And so they just asked me, which one do you want to connect to? So normally when I'm in a psychic fair, I will have one sister over my shoulder, and they've just told me Tootie's over here, and they just told me Gail's over here. And I have two brothers sitting behind me, as well as behind them, I have ascended masters. So they're all here, and they're all kind of just cheering me on right in this moment. I do want to take a moment out to honor them, to say thank you for being here. I love them very much. This is how I connect to them, is through love. So you're going to drop down in your heart space, and you're going to feel that happy thought for you, whatever that is. You've got your timer going, and you may say, show me a sign that you're here. You may say, ask a question, whatever question you want to ask. Say, let's say if it's your mother, Mom, show me a sign that you're here within the next 24 hours, or show me a sign within the next 5 minutes. Know that they're going to answer you both ways if you ask both questions. And spirit can get quite playful. So I want you to be okay when they answer, because that is when I get a lot of phone calls, when spirit starts to answer and people don't understand. So when you see a shape at the foot of your bed, people think, oh, Mom's going to come in and she's going to look like she did the day she departed. Normally, that's not true. It will just be a shadow figure. When you first start seeing ghosts, you're going to feel them. So sometimes it's just a feeling that you can feel your mom. Sometimes it's a shadow figure. So don't be scared. When you've asked for your mom, know that's your mom. If someone you just loved died, know that it's likely them. So right now, very active on this plane. I just lost a brother, and he he is really amping and working really hard with me to get my vibration up. So I am more and more connected. I am blessed in the sense that they're telling me right here, right now, that they signed up for this, that they signed up to go before me, that they signed up to help me lead in what I'm doing right here. And one of the things that they helped signed up is that I'm now at this point, I'm channeling one consciousness, which is source energy. And it's very high vibration, so they kind of like hold this space for me, if that makes sense for you. So they're holding the space so I can handle the source energy that comes in. And so thank you guys. I love you. So yeah, so that's how I connect. That's how you can connect to your guides. But know that every time you do something you love, you're connected.
So I connected today when I bought a car.
You know you did.
Oh
Your dad is also telling me right here, right now. He goes, I was there for my little girl.
yeah, first time I ever bought a car by myself. I am 56.
Oh no, he says, oh no. You were
Okay, I know
not
he
by
was there,
yourself.
but it was hysterical too because I kept being guided, not told what to do. They will not tell you what to do. They're not going to put, you know, road maps and stop signs and all that stuff in front of you. But because I had to, thank you. And then let us know if when she's asking about her mom too. I didn't know if she wanted her mom channeled or if you wanted your mom, you were just telling us that that's who comes in for you. Anyway, getting back to the car, it was great. I kept seeing this car come, like my car just went down 2 days ago, and it's just been crazy ever since. But the way it all handled, as soon as I stopped freaking out, it all flowed. So when you think, oh, I have to do this, oh, I got to call on this, I got to see what I can get from my car. Is it running? Is it this? Is it that? Answering all these questions. And the minute you put something out there on the internet, they all start coming in and texting you and calling you, and you're like, oh my gosh, let them just stop. Okay. But the minute I connected and turned it all over to source, it all flowed just beautifully. And I literally think they got me in and out of there on the purchase part in like 40 minutes. This is crazy. And now they're taking care of the car and they're going to deliver it to me, which is nice. And, but I could feel my guides there. And I do different things. I don't know if you guys do this or not, but I'll do a pendulum test or, a muscle test or things like that. If I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm really not quite sure. And then if I do like one of those tests, I connect in, then I just kind of feel like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to go. I hope I'm making sense.
Oh yeah.
It was amazing.
If anyone doesn't know what a pendulum is, it's just on a chain. There's a weight. It's funny. See how spirit works? I never have this next to me. And it's been laying next to me for a day or two. And I'm like, I don't know why it's here. I just feel like it's supposed to be here. So the pendulum is also another way to connect to your guides as well. So I love it to connect to your guides. So for instance, you can ask not just your higher self, but your guides a question. And so like, I'm going to ask, is my Uncle Bill here right now? So my Uncle Bill is one of my master guides. Look, I'm going to start crying.
He's there.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's really swinging. I didn't do it. I swear I didn't do it. And so For me, yes, you have. I will teach you how to use a pendulum, but you can do it with your guides as well. So let's say you want a guide who teaches you something new. So let's say you want a Reiki guide. So you're going to call in and you can say, Reiki guide, are you here? So you guys, a spirit gave me a Reiki guide named Kevin. He was a Reiki master on the other side. One day he showed up. I said, who are you? He goes, I'm your Reiki guide. I'm like, okay, let's go. And so I always call him in when I'm doing Reiki for people or myself or whoever. But so you can use a pendulum and ask yes and no questions. And it may take you a long while to get to that point that you really want to ask. But please make sure you know what your yes and no is before you start. So I always tell people how to use the pendulum. You get a chain and a weight, whether it's a real pendulum or not. They're super cheap. They're like, I don't know, 99 cents on Amazon or whatever, but you don't have to. You can use any necklace that you have tucked in your drawer. Anyway, so you ask yes and no questions to get your yes. You're going to make sure, like, is my name Frank? Now I get a no. My no has always been this way. Now, some people, that's their yes, but back and forth is a no. And I will get a maybe. My maybe it will be like a teeny tiny yes and a teeny tiny no. So that's my maybe. My yes the very strong is my brother Purvey here. Purvey is Butch, the one who just passed away. He is the funniest soul on the other side in the universe. He is just hecka funny. Uh, oh my God, he's laughing really loud. He's embarrassed. It's funny. So anyway, so that's how you use a pendulum to talk to spirit. It's just fun. It is just fun. So did we answer the Deborah question, or is she just talking about her mom? I want to make sure we answer.
Deborah's very enlightened. I'm sure she has conversations with her mom every day. She's amazing. She's
Cool. Yes. And people always ask me, can a loved one be here and it not interrupt their flow on the other side? So know that when we are in our heavenly bodies, we will still feel like us. Know that because we had this timed, and this is what I always ask people to do. When you want to talk to your guides, especially for the first time, or your higher self, make an appointment, like in a party. Say, today at 6 o'clock, I want to call in my guide. Today at 6 o'clock, I want to tell my higher self or your mom or whoever. So you want to make an appointment. And why? That's even though time doesn't exist on the other side, totally doesn't exist. Your higher self and your master guide will get everything lined up. You don't have to worry about anything else because it's all now. So, and because it's all now and they realize that, think about it, they can be in heaven. My brother still loves to go for his hiking. He can still be doing his hiking. And he's saying, well, after I hike about 10 miles a day, he goes, I'm done for right now. That's what he's enjoying doing on the other side. He's enjoying hiking on the other side about 10 miles a day right now. So then, he still has all this time. They don't sleep, right? Because they're in spirit. And they know when to be here. Spirit's got them all lined up. They know. And so if you make a party, that invitation, that's one way to call them in to know that they are in there. And you can just say it verbally. Today, 6 o'clock, my guides, come on in, answer my question. Have fun with it. Have fun. Be lighthearted. Play.
They want to be there. and they want to be thanked, but they want to be there. When I started this 15 years ago, I was looking too hard. That's why I mentioned that earlier. Like, I'm like, okay, where's my signs? Why am I not hearing it? What is it? And I was missing what was right in front of me. So like,
everyone thinks your guide should come in and be solid
not the
beings.
6th sense, but but like, when I wanted to talk to know that my grandfather was around, and I'm like, why? Well, isn't he going to do something? Like, what's going on? And then all of a sudden I felt, when I backed off, he used to grab me by both sides of my arms and pull me to him to give me a hug. I would feel the pressure of on my arms. The other way I knew he was there is because I would be listening to my 80s rock station, and right smack in the middle of it, Patsy Cline starts playing. That is one of my signs from my grandfather. So you can have like preset signs too, if you want as well, to know that, like, I have a friend who works with angels and such, and she knows that when she sees a purple flower or purple rose specifically, that is the sign from her dad. So
I call that God winked. So for instance, you're going out your normal day and you see something and it reminds you of a loved one on the other side. That's them saying hello. Really, it is. Don't just think it might be, so just that purple flower is the perfect example. Whenever I see a purple flower, I think of my sister Naomi. Whenever, it's like, hello, I'm here, and they do love to use music. You're absolutely right about that. My dad has a few songs that when they come on the radio, I mean, he just enjoying that. He's just really, really, really enjoy. They also like to use computers. So you might open up your computer and that question that you had in your head will be right on the computer screen. And you don't know how it got there, but that's a God wink. So they can manipulate electronics really easy. The other day, we were doing an ancestor healing, Katie and I, and all of a sudden, it's 2 light switches came on in my kitchen. 2, not 1, but 2. And then it's like they wanted to confirm it, like it's really us. They turned it off and back on. And it's never done that before. It's never done it since. It's just them saying, hey, we're here. Thank you for the healing.
That was a powerful healing. And you can always ask for that validation too. On, when you talk to them afterwards, you can, ask for another validation that, you're heading in the right place, you're doing the right thing. That's what I go off of, especially in meditation. But when I feel like I'm just, I don't know, like I'm just not sure if I did something correctly, I'll ask for validation. And then next thing you know, not even 10, 15 minutes later, it's coming up. And when you say, like, you ask for a flower, like a rose, let's say a purple rose, it doesn't necessarily have to be a real live rose. It can, when I see things like that, sometimes it's a rose that caught my eye on a church, stained glass window.
Yeah, it could be in a carpet.
It up on your phone, right?
A carpet, anything. They'll use anything. I tell people anything that you'll allow them to use, but trust it. That's the big thing. People need to learn how to trust what they see when they see it.
And be very open as well.
Yeah, and the more you say thank you, the more you're going to get. So, yeah. We only have 15 minutes left. So I'm going to go ahead if it's and call in Zan, and they're just going to basically have enough time to say hello. Does anyone have any questions for him? Put it in the chat. If not, Katie, you'll have to ask the question because once I get in there, My eyes are closed, but
Is it
basically
I'm
they'll
sorry.
just say, hello. Because we only have 15, but if you have questions, I'm sure they'll happy to answer it for you.
Do
Um,
you want to try to connect with Deborah's mom? Is that something
um,
I don't know if
uh, to
that's something
Deborah's mom.
she said, "Sure, I would like to work with my mom."
Okay.
I don't
So,
know.
okay. So let me,
That's your call.
yeah. Okay. So hold on and let me connect. So, I feel okay. So I am getting a mom presence. Like, I feel like she's more connected to you in this moment than she is with me. So let me get a moment connecting to our heart space, connecting to all that there is. To allow, I allow communication for Deborah's mom. There's something, so she says she's here. Is there something that she wants you to know? And the first thing I got is the word good eats. I don't know what that means for you, good eats, but I got good eats. Um, and so, so I feel like she is often with you when you're eating. So this is either it's like when you're eating or prepping food, she is with you, and that brings her great joy. Um, um, so Deborah, do you this are you aware that this is one way that your mom connects to you? Can she answer that?
I'm eating right now.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna cry. You cannot make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. Thank you, Deborah. I just love that. Thank you, Deborah's mom. Oh my goodness. You are so connected to your mom. You are so connected to your mom. Yeah, I just love that. That is such validation for you that your mom is right there with you. That is just beyond words. So, I love that. I really do. Do you have any questions for your mom?
Yes, she has woke me up in the middle of the night and she could hear her voice. Let's see.
She goes, I want you to know without a doubt, that you are eternal being. And when you go from this mere physical existence, that you wake up into your true self. And that is why she has done that. And she wants to thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that acknowledgement. She said it means the world to her. It means the world to her.
Oh, thanks, Deborah. She's having one of the most delicious meals right now. Oh, okay, so are you going to connect to Zand? Is that what you want to
Okay.
do for a couple minutes or?
Okay. Let's see. I let them guide. I am not in control of one consciousness. Never have been, never will be. I'm just a humble tool. So hello, dear ones. We are Zand, and we are pleased to be here to dance with you in this now through all realities. And so, why have we chosen this vessel? Why have we chosen this medium? Why have we chosen to be here, right now? It's because more and more of you are becoming ready to know that we are not scary, that we are of love and light and love of the one infinite creator, that we come so that you might know that you are spirit living, so that you may come, that you may know who you are mm, fully, more fully than you ever known or those on the planet have ever known. This is why we come. We come for love. We come to expand. We come to expand and to celebrate love and to celebrate you. Mm, this is why we are here.
Dan, thank you for coming in. What shift is humanity currently going through?
Mm. Humanity is going through many, many, many shifts at this time. So many of you think as humanity as perhaps as this is the way it is now and this is the way it will be tomorrow, and you're discovering that that's not true at all. You're discovering that you are these multidimensional beings, that you are discovering that as your vibration rises, that you maneuver yourself into a new and more positive reality, a more positive earth reality, and more positive, higher conscious reality. Mm. So we say keep going that way, keep going that way. That is partly why we are here. We are here to for you to explore and to know more and more of the larger picture, not just the small humans that you have played for so long. So you're expanding, the shift is expanding consciousness. And so as you expand consciousness and you become more and more of who you are, more and more of the oneness, and see through this lens of oneness, and you understand that all that there is the one, and the one is all that there is. And as you see this, as you see others as a mirror, as a reflection of all that there is, and you go vibrate higher and higher frequencies, the shift you're shifting into is of more positive, is of more consciousness, if you will, is of more expand consciousness of the one.
Well, thank you. What is the greatest illusion humanity is beginning to break free from?
Mm. The greatest illusion that is that who you are as physical beings is the beginning and the end of the get all. It is not. It is not. Your physicality is, we talk about it as a field trip. Your physicality, we talk about it as a dream for the soul. The biggest illusion that we would say is that you feel separated from all that there is, from one consciousness, from source energy. Know that you are never separated from your source, from the infinite creator. Never, ever, ever. There are the other many illusions that death is real. Death is not real. You're infinite beings. You're infinite beings. And to understand an illusion of separateness causes many illusions. So we would say probably the greatest is that you're separate from all that there is, that you are not mighty, that that somehow you are just this mere human playing a small part. Without you, source would be unfulfilled. Source would not be complete without you. Therefore, you are of great significance. You are most worthy for your existence. Mm. But back to the question, remember it is and. Remember it is and not but. And so the greatest illusion is your separateness from all that there is. You are not separate from all that there is. You are greater consciousness than many are playing at this time. And that is what these new roles that you are all, many of you, not all, but many of you, and in the sense, even those in the lowest vibration are rising consciously, whether they decide to look and play the role of service to others, or they decide to wake up consciously and play the role of service to self. All roads lead to source. All roads lead to source.
We have a viewer that had a visitation that startled her and she loved it, but how can she work on keeping her cool during the so-called spooks so she can further her experience?
Is to, if she doesn't know who that entity is to ask. We would say ask who it is. Secondly, say in the name of love and light and love, I speak to you, and show yourself. And if they are of love and light and love, then they will continue to be there, and you can speak to them. We would say it is very important at the beginning, especially when you see someone in your room, that you come from a place of love and light and love, and you ask, if you are of love and light and love, let me know. You would normally feel it. So if you're not used to spirit, even the most benevolent spirit, you might be spooked. But if it is a negative spirit, uh, if you say in the name of love and light and love, show yourself, or let me know who you are, they will tell you. They will tell you. If they are not of love and light in that moment, they will be they will not be gone, but they will leave your presence. They will leave your home.
What about setting boundaries with spirit? Like, in other words, saying like, only come to me in my dream, or during the daytime, when it's light outside. Well,
they will always honor that. Always honor that. They will honor that. If you say, only come to me in my dreams, only come to me when I'm wearing this certain hat, yes, they will. But know that spirit of love and light and love would always love to communicate to you if you allow it. Know that there are many spirits out there that are of the lower frequencies, that when you open up and you are not get learned on how to be grounded, or you haven't asked, and you can just ask, hey, my master guide, my higher self, always keep me protected in love and light and love, and therefore know you are. Once you ask for it, and you say, I would like to be protected in this now and this now through all realities. So do your protection and know that it covers all ground. But when you're new, is what we were talking about. When you're new, it is good to ask, are you of love and light and love? And if you are, who are you?
Sometimes people will ask if the lower energy spirit will lie or play games with you.
If you tell them in the name of the one infinite creator, be gone, they must be gone. And at that level, when you say in the name of light and love, I speak, they cannot.
Thank you. I guess we'll ask one more question because we're about at our time. Here we go. Richard Marshall. In what ways can our guides protect or warn us?
Through intuition is huge. especially when you've been on the journey for a while, you will instinctively know. We say uh, if it is a positive, if it's a positive, you will instinctively know it's positive. Let's say you feel in a low energy, you will instinctively, after you've been on the journey a while, know that's low vibrational frequency. And you can just ask them to be gone and they will be gone. So that is a simple way to know if they're higher or lower. Once you sit in the heart frequency and above, that is all that can come to you. That is all that can come to you. They may knock on your door, those lower frequencies, but if you say, in the name of light and love, be gone, in the name of the one infinite creator, in the name of Jesus Christ, in the name of Buddha, in the name of Krishna, whoever you wish to say it, they must just go to the light.
Thank you. Okay, well, I think
We
that's all.
are taking, because we know the time is short. We
Yeah.
want to say thank you. Thank you for allowing us this moment through this time and all time. Thank you.
Thank you, Zan.
Woo!
Feel all right? Take a breath.
Yeah.
I did want to point out to everybody, I know we got to get going. Before I ever work with my tools, like, I'll always protect my energy first. If I'm working with a pendulum, if I'm using my whole body as a pendulum, if I don't have that, or next, I always ask, give my boundaries, that it's only God's angels.
Love and light and love.
That's it.
That and above.
Yep. That's
Yep.
it.
Yep.
So, wow, that was great. Thank you for being here for our first one.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. I sure do appreciate it. That was so much fun.
So our next one is going to be on the 14th, Sunday the 14th at 4:00.
Yep.
Is that
Same.
right?
Yep. That we plan to do it weekly as soon as we can. But for the next month or so, they're going to be bi-weekly or so, until we get some more kinks worked out.
Yes. And actually, if you want to go ahead, let us know what you would like us to cover. Is it shadow work? Is it the clairs? Is it what we would like to do is find out what you're more interested in. Of course, we pick things that kind of go with a progression for awakening for those that are very new to it. But, some of you may have, be going through this for quite some time and started your awakening a long time ago. If you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, let us know. Let us know what you'd like to see us to cover, and we certainly will.
Oh, yes. We would love to. And think of any other questions that you might have for Spirit as well. And yeah, that was fun. So I want to say thank you, everybody. That was just pure fun. I love playing. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you.